Oh, good morning. Had a slight false start there when it wouldn't allow me to live broadcast from my back garden, but somehow we've managed to relink and rediscover, and so here we are. And outside at the back door at the man's garden, and looking around and seeing it's a beautiful day, a bit breezy, but not too bad. Overcast, it's still quite warm, and our garden, well, all our gardens I think looking pretty full at the moment with all that's happening, and some colour around the beds and some colour elsewhere up in our garden, and some added colour of a fire engine going past, which was not in the script. But never mind, these things happen. You never quite know what's going to happen, do you, in life, and what's going to pass you by. And when things like that do pass you by, you just hope that whatever they have been attending is sorted with no harm. But there's a wee diversion for us before we even get very far in. Today, I think possibly obviously, focusing mainly on the fact that the Scottish students are receiving their exam results. Probably most of them already have, if they've got themselves out of bed and checked their text messages or their emails or whatever, however they get results these days. But exam results are a big thing for most people. In my day, of course, we had to wait for the postman coming, and it depends when your post arrived during the day as to when you got your results. And then it was a case of even going to the phone box at the end of the road to phone your pals maybe and see how they got on if they have phones. Different days and different ways. Exam results, they seem at the time the most important thing, and they are. I'm not going to diminish the importance of exams or exam results, that is for sure. But they have to be kept in context and, well, kept where they need to be. Exams and exam results of specific subjects are really important if that's what you want to go on to do, or if those are the results that you need to go on to your next part of your life and your education and so on and so forth. And the grades, especially after these last few years, all up in the air as to what they are, what they mean and how they're assessed. So there's a lot of uncertainty. But there's uncertainty in life too. And there's a lot of uncertainty as to what exams we need perhaps in life. Life itself is, of course, the education that gives us, hopefully, our wisdom and understanding and what we need to be doing and how we treat people and treat the world. Because what we don't have an exam in, and perhaps we should, is how we treat the world, our values, what we see as our priorities in living life in society and with others. And we see that in a garden, lots of different plants that manage to coexist really very well. Different colours, different sorts, different shapes, all sorts of things, like different soils, different conditions, and yet they can live in the same garden and they can live in this world very nicely. We need to learn from the creation around us that kindness and a certain amount of generosity is required. Exams do not say who we are. The results in our exams do not give us our worth and our value in the world, but rather how we treat other people. And how we treat creation, perhaps, is the better measure of that. And yet today, for many people, for many there will be rejoicing that they have the grades, the results that they need to go on to whatever it is that they want to go on to. For others there will be some disappointment. For some there will be that thought that they've not quite made the grade they needed. And so what are they going to do now? There's a lot of uncertainty, perhaps reassessing, restructuring, perhaps lots of phone calls already being made and emails into other institutions to see what can be done and how things can be made right or made better or changed into something completely different. For some, there will be the results that were expected. And I'm not talking about those who expected the A stars and the Bs and what they have, but those who have always been told, you'll amount to nothing. No point in sitting your exams, you'll not get them. It's just a waste of time. And perhaps for them, they're realising, thinking, considering that, that's maybe true. Maybe that is me and I'm not going to amount to anything. For those people, the answer is quite simply, that's not true. And that's not how life is. People can go through it and leave school without getting the results that they wanted and make a really, really good life for themselves, but also for others. Paper exams, written results, yes, of course they are important, and they help to move us to college or education or apprenticeships or to whatever. But they're not the be-all and end-all. God gives us worth when we realise that God's love is ours, no matter our exam results. God gives us our value, for God made us, created us, made us who we are. And we all have talents and gifts and abilities that might not ever be tested in an exam situation, but which really speak volumes into a world that is in need. A world that needs to know that there is care and compassion for all. So, whatever is happening today with exam results, or maybe you're way past that. Maybe you have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren who are getting results. But whatever the situation that you are in today, know that we are, each and every one of us, valued, worthwhile, have a place, have a reason to be and a purpose in this world. My exam results ended up okay when I left school and got me into what I wanted to do next, which I really did want to do. I did all my science courses and got into study science, which is what I wanted to do. And I worked in science for a long time. And having vowed never to go back and sit another exam in my life, I returned to New College to do more exams, to do again what I felt called to do and wanted to do. And I needed to study and get those exams in order to do it. And it's because I had that purpose that I was able to do that. Because I knew that was what I needed in order to fulfill what I felt called to do. So what do you feel called to do? And what is it that you need? Maybe it's simply that you'll be able to read a recipe in a book. Maybe it's that you need to learn to do some crafting that will bring joy and colour and life to other people. Maybe you're someone who can fix gardens and do wonderful things with flowers and plants. Maybe it's carpentry or being a lawyer. Maybe it's working in retail, all sorts of things. Each one of us has a place, and each one of us can give into our life, in our world, perhaps more than we think. So don't let anyone tell you that you are not of value. And please don't tell anyone else that either. But rather realise that through God, in God and with God, we are made with a purpose for this life in this world, and we can fulfill it. Me, well, today one of my purposes is to return Stella Dog back to her home and her family after her wee holiday here. So that's my purpose for today, along with a few other things like, Kirk session and things like that. But whatever you are doing, enjoy it. And whatever you have been doing in their holidays, I hope you have enjoyed it. And whatever you do in the rest of your life, well, yeah, enjoy it. Give to this world and to life all that you can. And know that in everything we are made to live in community, to be together, to share, and to live with kindness and gentleness, consideration, and a big dollop of joy. Enjoy today. God bless.